And we back at it like a crack addict. What's going on, people? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this thing on? Can you all see me? Most importantly, can you all hear me? Test, test. Mic check. What's going on, people? What's up? What's happening? Let me go ahead and drag this chat over here real quick. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, we good to go. We are good to go. Okay, all righty. All right, what's going on, people? What's up? What's up? What's happening, y'all? Welcome to the stream. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Let's see. So starting up at the top, let's of course give some shout outs to the homies, the main crew. Oh, who's at the very top of the list tonight? Oh, I see a first comment from this guy NeoGameSpark. Oh, he's in here bright and early. Look at that. And I hear he started the stream a couple minutes early too. Look at that. Look at God, man. Look at God. All right. Going down the list. Let's see. Oh, we got the homie Flame in the chat. Oh, yes, you are first. Indeed. So proud of you. Thank you. I try. You know what it is, Flame? It's all about being a little better every single day. Just like one fraction of a percentage. If you can do that, you can achieve anything in life. Unless it means making a better game than Scarlet Nexus, because that's just impossible according to Flame. There is no other game better than Scarlet Nexus. All right, who else? We got the homie J-Fam in the chat. Overwatch, One Piece, One Punch Man hype. Oh, they're doing a crossover event? That's right. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's... Well, congratulations to everybody who's looking forward to that. I mean, there was, I think, an Attack on Titan collaboration with... Was it PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? Was it PUBG and Attack on Titan? I don't know. It was a... No. Was it Call of Duty? What was it? Attack on Titan? It was something with Attack on Titan, and it was like a realistic looking thing, and it looked off, bro. It looked really off. But shout out to the homie Jason. Oh shit, we got the homie Rhino in the building. Chipotle Mayo Chris, you know who in the build. No, listen, I'm about to demolish that building at this rate. Yes, y'all already starting out with the slander, but yes, I do love that Chipotle Mayo. And the reason why I said it's slander, Rhino, is because you open the floodgates for some people. You bring up Mayo and they start going crazy in the chat, saying shit that I did and I didn't do. Listen, you know what? Listen, I love everybody. That's all I can say. All right, so let's see who else we got in here. Going down the list, we got the homie Corey Gryffindor. Yo, shout out to the kid Corey Gryffindor. I don't know if y'all follow this man on IG, but this dude was looking schwanky as fuck. I think he was going to a wedding. This man was, he was high stepping, bro. He was high stepping, bro. Who else? Joe, me and my baseball man need to talk to you private. Yeah, Joe is already starting some slander streams comments, and it wasn't even the start of the stream, and he's already talking that reckless shit. But that's Flame, and unfortunately, we deal with him. It is what it is. Let's see what we got. The homie DIMWITMONKEY in the chat. What's up, my brother? We got Dylan Collins and we got Bryce Hag. Yeah, Bryce is bright and early today. Look at you, my man. That jazz rendition of Takeover, though. Yes, dude. If you guys are wondering what the background music for the stream is, it is a Persona jazz and piano mix. That is literally the title of the video. Go look it up on YouTube, and it is just, it's beautiful. It is chef's kiss, man. I fucking love it. Let's see, we got Sora Life Story. What's up, bro? We got the Big Sam Broski. What's up, my guy? We got JMac19. Hey, Neo Israel. Yes, you see, I'm defying all the odds and beating all the stereotype allegations. Alrighty, who else is here? Oh, we got the homie David Biglod. We got David Biglod, and we got Mapsters in the chat. What's up, gentlemen? We got Distant Earth, Quick Cheeky Nut. Hey, man, listen. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta handle business. Like me, myself, and I like a more drawn out. Let me not. It's too early in the night to get reckless. We got Terrence JG. What's up, my brother? Happy Tuesday to you too. Let's see. We got Sega Kid in the chat. Can we talk about? Oh, we gonna talk about that Sega Kid. We gonna talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. Rest assured. If you're wondering if we're gonna talk about that, we're gonna talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. Just. Rest assured, we're going to talk about that. Alrighty. Oh, we got NKDN182. What's up, my brother? We got the amazing CJB. What's up, Chris? Unfortunately, we got some dude named Black Bond in the chat. Fuck that nigga, bro. But hello, Black Bond. I'm surprised you haven't gotten banned yet this week. Hyped for Dragon Ball Z Bukake Hentaichi. Where does he come up with these phrases, bro? This man Bond, like I said, every single day I am reminded why Black Bond gets banned on Twitter, bro. He's just trying to rain on everybody's parade. But you know what? You know, that's just Bond, man. That's just Bond. Bond is your biggest stand. No, just throw that man Bond out. I agree, Maddie. I agree. Throw that man Bond out with the quickness. Who else is in here? We got Ghost Fixter. What's up, Ghost Fixter? We got Positive Gamer. What's going on, Dax? Let's see. We got J-World. My man. My boy J-World. How are you, my brother? Oh, snap. The jazz stopped. Yes. That's the start of the stream. You guys can still hear the jazz, or do I need to put it up a little bit? I'd like to have it as some background music, a little bit of ambiance. You know, add a little culture to the mix. We got Hibachi in the chat. Wagwan. Wagwan to you too, my friend. Let's see. We got Stone Jedi 66 Gaming. Good evening. Oh, we putting this dude on trial tonight. We putting Stone Jedi on trial tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If y'all don't know, I'll explain it to y'all in a second. Remote Bry. What's good, Big Neo? What's up, Remote Bry? How you doing? We got Julian Phoenix. What's up, gentlemen? We got Wee Man on Wheels. What's up, bro? Glad to see you doing well. Thank you, my brother. I hope you're doing well, too. I hope you didn't go out there and see that, well, actually, you know what? I am doing pretty good knowing that I didn't watch that Demon Slayer movie in theaters. Unlike some other people. The finesse. That's the finesse train right there. Entertainment District arc? That wasn't no entertainment, bro. This is the finesse district arc. God's work up in here. Yes, sir. Valkian24, what's up, my brother Matty? Is mayonnaise an instrument? Bitch, it might be. We got NintenDon The Otaku. I'm late. I must eat a lot of mayo and play Witcher 3 and don't finish better games like Tales of Arise. You see, I liked you better when you actually put some thought and effort into your comments. Now you're running jokes into the ground like Black Bomb, bro. You don't want that for yourself, NintenDon Otaku. I want you to love yourself. Because when you love yourself, you can put out better jokes. But now you're just like, nah. We got Naruto ST in the chat. What's up, my brother? Let's see. We got Psychosis. Did Neo? No, we didn't. We did not talk about the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we gonna get through the shout-outs, we gonna get through the intros, we gonna shout out all the members, and then we gonna talk about what we talk about. Rest assured, we are talking about it. Do not worry, ladies and gentlemen. Do not worry. Bar some crazy thing happening, shutting down the stream, we gonna talk about that tonight. Let's see who else is in here. We got Trav the Gamer. What's up, my brother? We got Wario Fellow. Yo, Neo, another Demon Slayer movie is coming. Oh, yeah, it's already out, bro. It came out Friday, and it's a finesse. It's a finesse. Let's see. We got $2 super chat coming in from the homie Hibachi. Which is worse, Dragon Ball GT or Dragon Ball Super? I mean, honestly, everyone's gonna say Dragon Ball GT, but I'ma keep it a stack. I feel like, listen, let me explain myself. I feel like Super is a bigger disappointment than GT. Because with Dragon Ball Super, let's be real about life. Only a fraction of that show is good. Dragon Ball GT, a lot of it isn't good, but there's some stuff that is kind of good, right? So when you take the two, it's kind of like they're on even playing field. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? It's like one of those things where it's like, would I want to suffer through most of Super? Most of it's redundant because it was in movies. Most of it's not well animated just to get to the Tournament of the Power arc and then parts of the Goku Black stuff. Like, that stuff is cool. Yeah. So I don't know like which one is worse, but I feel like Super is way more disappointing. Because the stuff with Super that is good is just surrounded by so much mediocrity. So much stuff that you could have done so much with the Dragon Ball IP and you just chose not to. It's just like, nah, we're gonna make this shit mid as fuck. And I know people hate me saying mid as fuck, but it just, come on, it's Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball GT stands for Grand Trash. Hey, listen, that intro was fire. Don't act like you weren't singing that song at 10 years old, bro. Stepping into the Grand Tour. A brand new adventure begins. It was another challenge for Goku and his friends. You were just mad because you weren't one of Goku's friends, bro. But yeah, I don't know which is worse. I mean, I would say GT, but then again, GT is shorter than Super. I don't care what people like. I kind of like the Shadow Dragon arc. That was fun. All right. Okay. So let's see. Hit us with that fire Persona mix. Yes, sir. Couple Water 12. You know it. Narukami 2D. We back for another Ask Neo. Yes, sir, my brother. We got the Arsonist in the chat. What's up? What's up? Mr. Glass. How you doing? Bond be killing me when he tries to get you to play Legend of Heroes, which you should, by the way. Every single time Bond does one of those dumbass quote tweets about Legend of Heroes, I push it off another 3 months. So right now, we're looking at 2032 for when I actually properly dive into the series again. So like the 30 hours I put into Trails of Cold Steel 1, and I think like the 4, 5, the 4 or 5 hours I put into Trails in the Sky, Asbel, my brother, I'm so sorry, but that's all I'm gonna play until this dude Bond shuts up. If Bond shuts up about Legend of Heroes for a year, I will complete one game. I can do that, and if I don't, he can do a Calape series for like the foreseeable future. That's all I can say. But the more time he be bugging me, the more time I'm just like, no, because bullying does not work with me unless it's you guys. That's it. That's it. Let's see. Who else we got in here? We have got oh, so we have a $2 Australian super chat from Valkyne24. Question: Bravely Default or Octopath Traveler? I am the wrong person to ask this question, my brother, because I have not really given a lot of time into Bravely Default like that, so I can't really say for certainty. I know people who do enjoy it. Octopath Traveler is the only one I could speak on because I played through the majority of the game almost towards the end, but I just dropped it because it was just not, it wasn't giving me enough fulfillment to push me towards the end. But from what I have heard from people, Octopath Traveler 2 is really friggin' good, like insanely good. And we have someone in the chat, Flame, who's been playing it religiously. So if anything, I would give Flame the platform to speak on it because he loves the shit out of that. Let's see. We got Bridge Moon Productions. What's up? Yes, we're gonna talk about that. Let's see. Yeah, no. So when I'm talking about GT or Super, I'm not counting the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie because that is God tier. That is fucking God tier, and nothing comes close to that. But everything else about Super, man, I'm sleep. I'm definitely sleep. Let's see. Who else we got here? I'm just trying to get through the shoutouts real quick. Juliun Harris, what's up, my brother? We got KH Han in the chat. GT is great fan fiction. Distant Earth. Let's see. Let me just get through these shoutouts quick. Then we'll be good. We got the Sensu Beam plug. And yeah, okay, we got the Sensu Beam plug. All right, so Sensu Beam plug. What's up, my brother? Okay, we are officially done with the shoutouts. So let's get into the intros. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, races, and ethnicities alike, welcome back to the channel. If y'all are tuning in for the very first time, this is Ask Neo. Ask Neo is my weekly Q&A series where you guys ask me questions and I try my best, to the best of my ability, to answer them. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, because I low-key, high-key like to give y'all some nice and thorough answers. Now, before we dive further into the stream, I do want to draw y'all's attention to the video description. I have a couple of links of interest. Basically, all of my social media outlets, from my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram page, Discord community, all of that fantastic stuff where you can follow me is going to be down below in the video description. And since it is the beginning of a brand new month, even though it is the 7th day, it is the first Ask Neo of the month, I do have to go ahead and do the shout outs because we have gained a lot of new members over the past couple of weeks. And of course, every month I do like to give a shout out and spotlight to those amazing people who help support the channel in numerous ways. So we're going to go ahead and give the shout outs real quick to all the amazing members via Patreon and YouTube memberships. So starting up at the top, we've got the homie Steve Killer 952. We've got JMac19. We've got Narukami 2D. A lot of these people are going to be joining us for the stream tonight. We got PS Rewind. We got the homie Juliun Harris, Dominique Richardson, DIMWITMONKEY, Marcus Doyle Terrell, Mexican Zoidburg, NintenDon The Otaku, who is also the biggest Witcher 3 stan, Daniel Pack, aka the Penguin Enforcer. We've got Joe Repko Aka Flame, Pierre the Gamer 2K19, DC Gamin, TXK, the homie JFam388, Mr. Jazzy Jefferson. We got Slixro, Cifford Pena, Zack Rodriguez, and Colin, my boy, who is, I hope we see here soon because we haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, but that is my boy. He's indeed the boy from Canada. And yeah, shout out to all the people who've been supporting the channel via super chats. I appreciate you guys' support so much. And yeah, so Ask Neo is a very chill show. We don't really have a flow or structure. It's just us dicking around, having fun, roasting each other. In most cases, people are roasting me, but it is what it is. It's just what I signed up for. This is my gift, my curse. And if you guys do want to have your questions answered with priority, the super chat option is available. Not only does it help support the channel, but it helps keep the show lively and ask some really interesting questions. So we have a $5 super chat coming in from the homie KH Han. Hot take: the Xbox Series X is important to keep around so graphics engineers don't get lazy and rely on sheer clock cycles to brute force through bad code. Appreciate the super chat, KH Han. And this is definitely more of an engineering question, and I will be the first person to admit I am not what people call an armchair developer, an armchair engineer. I know little to nothing about game development, which is why whenever people talk about teraflops and clock speeds and all these other things, I just basically go mute because I don't have the insight to really give a proper speech on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those things where it's like, okay, is all this stuff going to make the games better? If the answer is yes, awesome. If not, I'm sleep, bro. I'm sleep. But the Xbox Series S has unfortunately come up in the news cycle yet again in regards to the upcoming was it Baldur's Gate? Was it Baldur's Gate 3? I think it was Baldur's Gate 3, right? So Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out as a PlayStation 5 console exclusive, at least at launch anyways. And that prompted a lot of people to wonder, like, hey, what's going on? Like, outside the whole fanboy stuff and discussion about console exclusivity and money hatting, people are questioning, like, why isn't this coming out on Xbox? And the devs basically came out and said, hey, we definitely do want to do Xbox stuff down the road, but it's just taking us a little bit of time considering we have to develop for both the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S because Microsoft does have a parity with both consoles. You cannot launch one game and not have it come out on the other one. And they wanted to get split screen running on both those systems. And unfortunately, the Xbox Series S was giving them some problems. Now, I'm going to be the first person to admit, I am not a fan of Baldur's Gate like that. I am aware of the series. I know a lot of people love it. I know people are excited for the sequel. So I'm not going to sit here fake capping blah, 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 blah. But in terms of how it's pertaining to this whole thing going on with the consoles, it is something that we've heard from some developers over the past year or so in regards to the Series S. Most famously, I think it was the Rocksteady developer who came out and said that the Series S was a potato and trying to develop for it was a hassle, blah, blah, blah. Allegedly, because we've seen a lot of developers work on the Series S and they have no problems with it, and others who seem to be struggling with it. I'm not going to sit here and try to say that, well, it's because they're not using this and the tools and blah, 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 because like I said, I'm not an engineer and I don't pretend to be like a lot of people online. But what I will say is I think that a lot of these problems that we are seeing with the Xbox Series S, I think the further away we get from cross-gen development and we start focusing more on these exclusives and we make them the norm, like current gen versions of games, like have that be the norm and not have to worry about splitting your brain between doing this and that and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's still really early in terms of the generation for us seeing those kind of games. So I think it just needs a little bit of time for them to iron out all of whatever issues they have. Now, eventually, is there going to get a point where the Series S might start introducing some bottlenecks for game development? Sure. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, you know, like, it's never going to happen like that because of game scalability and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. You know, I'm not a developer. But as it stands right now, I think that if I had to take a guess, like one thing that I did notice, at least with Gotham Knights and how that game was optimized on consoles, is that, well, it wasn't really that well optimized on consoles, which prompted a lot of people to be like, oh, you know, this is a sign that, you know, the Series S is fucked because look what it did for Gotham Knights and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that game didn't even run great on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X by default. So I think it's definitely more of the talent surrounding the game development rather than the Xbox Series S being a hindrance. But regardless of all that stuff, I think that it's important that we start moving away from cross-generation game development. Obviously, I think any game that started development within like the past 1 or 2 years, that stuff is going to be current gen only. But man, it's just so evident that like a console should not really be pumping out games, at least like pushing the boundaries of the hardware after 7 years. Like at that point, like once you start getting the swan song games of the generation, like, you know, Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, like I think that should be it, you know, trying to squeeze out more development from these other games. And I get it, you know, it's all about making money at the end of the day. But when you're just sacrificing so much potential quality that exists by making something a cross-gen game, and then you're handicapping yourself because then it's like, okay, now we have to start from scratch on working on the full current gen versions of games. It's like, you know, but yeah, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and defend the Series S. I'm not going to sit here and attack the Series S. I just want to play really good games. And I think once we start getting away from cross-generation stuff and we start properly optimizing for these systems, we're going to start seeing some really good games. Because as it stands, like, we really haven't seen any crazy current generation exclusives that have run to the point where it's just beautiful and flawlessly. Like, as weird as this shit sounds, you guys, the best running games that we've seen this generation are cross-generational titles, like Horizon Forbidden West. Like, that is just absolutely insane to me. But again, it's just a souped up PS4 game, but it runs so good, better than a lot of other current gen games, right? I mean, I'm thinking like the other current gen game that just looks and runs amazing at 60 frames, Ratchet and Clank. But even so, that's just a Ratchet and Clank game. It's not doing anything. Well, we thought it would do things that are groundbreaking, but it wasn't, you know? They led us to believe that. I mean, Plague Tale looks amazing, but again, you know, that could have definitely used a lot of optimization. And I'm just looking at the future, like, what other current gen games are coming out that are going to be fire and have no issues? I don't know, you know? Like, COVID definitely pushed some things back, so the time frame for them to work out all these issues, like the first year or so, it's just added another year or so on top of that. So, yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy 16 is like the first one where I'm just like, let's fucking go! But we'll see. We'll see how that runs at launch. That's what I need. But appreciate the super chat, Han. And then we have $9.99 coming in for the homie Blue Senshi 19. How are you, Mayonnaise King? I know I am well. Oh my god. I know I am well known to hate on the 2022 Batman, but I found another film better than Batman, and that is Creed 3. Witcher 3 is mid, or never mind, it's trash. Love you. There's just a whole bunch, a lot of conflicting stuff going into that statement, Blue Senshi, but it's good to hear from you, bro. And yeah, there will be no Robert Pattinson Batman slander in this stream. We will not be doing that because that is the GOAT. It just celebrated its 1-year anniversary, and filming is starting at the end of the year. So yes, Pattinson era, let's go, baby. And yeah, Creed 3. Creed 3 is also something we're going to talk about later on today. And then we have another super chat coming in from Blue Senshi 19. I'm afraid they might name the new Tenkaichi game something stupid like Dragon Ball Z Super Budokai Tenkaichi 4 Super. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, but speaking of which, guys, I think it's time. Do y'all think it is time? Is it time we talk about that announcement? Ladies and gentlemen, is it time we talk about that announcement? I just need a gut check. I need a gut check in the chat. And while y'all are typing down below, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. Helps send this video out into the ether so we can get a bunch of people in this beautiful family of ours. We currently got 19 likes right now. Let's bump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers, ladies and gentlemen. And, we just got a $2 super chat coming in from the homie Joe, aka Flame. Octopath Traveler 2 is legitimately goated. Just saying. All right, Flame, I need to give you your platform at one point because you need to sell me on this game, bro, because you know how I feel about the first Octopath. You know how I feel, and I just don't want it to be one of those situations where it's exactly the same. Because for some people who loved that, that's great, but for me, I don't know. All right, we got another minute or so. For it to hit 7 o'clock on the dot, and then we can talk about this. This announcement, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about this announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Man, Persona music is just so fire, bro. My shapeshifter at Pose Masquerade. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is 7 o'clock on the dot. So that means it is time for us to dive into our first unofficial topic for the night. And y'all already know what this is. Unless y'all been living under the rock for the past 48 hours. Y'all know that out of the blue, we got confirmation from Namco Bandai that a new Dragon Ball Z game is in development. Now, that's no shock and awe. Like, listen, Dragon Ball is a very popular IP. It's a very popular franchise. We get games. They're kind of like, they become like a dime a dozen. But out of the blue, they announced that we are getting a brand new Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi game. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of y'all who maybe didn't grow up playing the Budokai Tenkaichi games on the PS2 and on the Nintendo Wii, bro, if there was ever a game franchise that truly encapsulated like what it means to be like, bro, that was my childhood. Like for me, that was the last game series to do that, because after that, I started, not to say that I started to grow up, but it was one of those situations where it was like every game after that was just a game that I played. But that era, like 2007, like I think, you know what it is? I stopped saying that was my childhood after like any game I played after the age of 14. It stopped being like, yo, that's my childhood, bro. You know, because then it just became, oh, this is a game that I played, even if I loved it more. But yo, the Dragon Ball Z games, right? The Tenkaichi one specifically, it was like the closest thing that we have ever gotten to just like a giant friggin' Dragon Ball fan service fest of a video game, bro. Like, it wasn't as deep in terms of combat compared to like the Budokai games, and it was definitely more cheap in some respects, but it was still a lot of fun because of the character rosters and the transformations and so much of the stuff that you could do in a 3D arena. So like those games, while I don't love them as much as like the Budokai series, they hold a very, very special place in my heart. And every now and then I just get nostalgic about, you know, picking up Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi and then wondering like, oh my God, why are the Super Saiyan transformations separate characters? Like, why can't I transform into them? And then getting the sequel and being like, oh my God, this is like the perfect sequel. And then the third game came out and it's just like, everybody and their mama is in this game. Even the random fucking side characters you didn't think of. Even the Frieza soldiers. Everybody was in this game. And granted, a lot of them were clones and they had the same move fest. But it was fucking cool. It was great. And just to hear that after 15, 16 years, we're getting a new Budokai. Guys, let me put this into perspective for y'all. For all the old heads, a lot of y'all have been rocking with my channel for a couple of years. Some of y'all have been here since the very beginning, 2008. Y'all might remember the videos I used to make theorizing and speculating about what should the next game be after Raging Blast 2, right? Because we had gotten Burst Limit, which was like sort of kind of like the Budokai series, but also its own thing. And then we got Raging Blast, which was sort of kind of like the Budokai Tenkaichi games, but it was its own thing. But where do you go from there? Like, how do you satisfy everybody? And I remember I made a video saying, what do y'all want to see? Do you want to see a Budokai 4? Do you want to see a Tenkaichi 4? Do you want to see something completely different? And I think I made that video like 10, 11, 12 years ago, something like that. And just the thought process that 15, 16 years after the last Tenkaichi game, we're getting another one. And the way that they announced it, honest to God, like I know I'm that type of person. You know this. I'm that type of person where announcements don't get me excited. I want to see tangible gameplay. You guys know this. But it's just something so surreal when they post this trailer and they use a CRT TV showing footage of the older Tenkaichi games. Like, that shit right there fucking hit home, bro. Listen, yes, nostalgia is a drug, and I am the first person to admit that. But fuck it, that was some good nostalgia, bro, because we all played those games on those CRT TVs. And then literally, to go from that to this beautiful Shintani art style Goku and have him transform into his new Super Saiyan form that we've gotten accustomed to recently. And they say a new Tenkaichi adventure begins. Like, dude, I'm not going front. Like, I was feeling some type of way, bro. Like, and I don't know. I don't know why a Budokai Tenkaichi announcement would get me like all up in my feelings, bro. Like, what? Like, there are so many other franchises that I love to death. And if they came out and they did like a remake announcement, I would be hype. I would be doing handstands. But would I ever feel like it's hitting close to home? I don't think so. That shit did. And the weird part about it is I was at work when all this was going down, so I couldn't really check my phone like that. But, you know, I had my watch on me, and I was getting notifications, like my watch was blowing up. I'm like, what is going on? Did somebody die or something? And then literally all I see is someone say, Budokai Tenkaichi 4, all caps. I was like, what? And you know this shit is huge. When I start getting texts from like old friends from back in the day, who I still talk to now, but they don't really game anymore. But they grew up playing them anime games. He said, bro, there's a new Tenkaichi game. When is it coming out? I said, I don't fucking know. I don't know. He's like, well, when it does, I'm getting a PS5. Like, the stranglehold that this franchise has, I never expected it. And just seeing like how viral it's blown up and everything. Like, holy shit, dude. So on the one hand, like I gotta say, this is like a top gaming moment for the year for me, because I did not expect on my 2023 non-existent bingo card that Budokai Tenkaichi 3 would be like, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is getting a sequel. So fucking crazy, dude. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, we could just like, oh my god, like we could just go cry about it. There's really not much else we know about the game. From what we saw, the game is still very early in development, so that means, well, we might not be seeing this game for like a solid 2 years or so. Who knows? If we're lucky, we might see it at the end of next year. Because, you know, when they say very early in development, depending on who you're talking to, that can mean different things. Like, I remember when they said, I think Dragon Ball FighterZ, when they revealed it, they said, like, yeah, you know, we're about, like, what, 50% done with the game? And then the game came out, like, I think the following January. So it's like, wait, what? Obviously, that's very different. 2D fighter versus, like, a 3D arena brawler and all that. But either way, I definitely want them to take their time on this. The potential for them to fuck this up is astronomically high. And if you guys have been following recent Dragon Ball games, specifically Xenoverse and how they've handled like their DLC, like the support of it's been great, but my god, they go insane with that shit. And this is going to be a Tenkaichi game for a new era, right? A brand new Tenkaichi game. How is that going to look in the modern era? Like, how are they going to refine it? Are they definitely going to make it more... Are they going to keep it more in line with the OG style of games, where it's just like more of a fun party kind of game, where it's like not too deep, but at the same time you can have your fun? Or are they going to add more depth to it? I don't know. How are they going to handle the roster? Where's the story going to start, and where's the story going to end? Is it going to be starting from OG Dragon Ball? Is it just going to start from Dragon Ball Z? Is it going to start from Super? We don't know. What's the roster going to look like? Now, I will be the first person to admit, I do not mind them cutting the roster, you know, in half, because that's real. A lot of those characters were just clone characters, and they were just there for the sake of. But how is that going to look for monetization purposes? Are they going to go ham with the DLC? We don't know. And if we're going to be buying a lot of clone characters, I don't think that's a good look. But regardless of that, I'm excited, man. Your boy is excited for another Budokai Tenkaichi game. It's been such a long time. And as someone who... It's not that I've fallen out of love with anime games. It's just that a lot of anime games, especially the older you get, you realize anime games are just Japan's version of movie license titles. Like, let's be real about life for a second. Like, there was a period in time where, you know, we bought, like, I bought almost every single Naruto game or almost every single Dragon Ball game that came out because I love those franchises. But when you start getting older and you start realizing that, hey, this is like no different than Madden or all the other franchises that come out, why am I spending the same amount of money every year on it just for minor roster updates and shit like that? It gives you a different perspective, especially when you had to start buying it by yourself. Like, I remember, I think the last time I bought an anime game with my parents' money, I think I was like 15. And then when I started working and I started, you know, buying games myself, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to buy that Dragon Ball game. I'm not going to buy that Naruto game. It's the same thing as I got last year. So it's going to be interesting to see how it's handled now, you know, like the past like 5-6 years or so. I mean, the only anime games that I've really bought were like stuff that was on sale for dirt cheap. Like, I bought Pirate Warriors because I think it was under $20, like Pirate Warriors 3. You know, I got Fighters, obviously, because, you know, it's just like a fighting game made by a competent developer. So, of course, you had to buy it. Even though I didn't play too much of it, you know, it's just cool to support that sort of thing. Of course, the Storm series. But, yeah, even the Storm series, like, Storm 4, I didn't buy until, what, 2020? Because I was just like, I'll just wait for the full burst edition. That's what I did with Storm 3. I was like, fuck it, I'll just wait for that. You know? So buying anime games is just like one of those things where you really have to be a hardcore fan because there's just not a lot of content in it. Like the Demon Slayer game, for example. I got the Demon Slayer game sent to me from Sega, and I played like 2 hours of it, and I was like, oh, you guys are charging money for this? Like, the combat itself is cool, but it was so bare bones by comparison to like any other game that was out, and you had to wait for updates and all these other things, and I'm just like, I'm good, Chief, I'm good. So, I mean, the jury is still out in terms of like how they're going to handle things with the game, but regardless, I'm excited for it. I really want them to take their time on it. I want them to flesh everything out. I don't necessarily need them to rush the stuff. Like, if they want to take the time to tell the story over again and make the story mode interesting and competent, like some of the Dragon Ball game stories, like Budokai 1, the presentation and the cutscenes for that game, holy shit, like go back and watch some of those cutscenes, you guys. They still hold up very well. Like, the presentation is fantastic. And you know what? Honestly, I know people hate it, but I kind of like the board game minigame in Budokai too. Like, I'm back and forth about it. I have to figure out my life. One day I like it, one day I hate it, you know? But I kind of like them doing like different shit like that. And then Budokai 3 story mode was pretty cool. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. But provided it's not, you know, another Ultimate Tenkaichi in terms of, hey, we're just going to bullshit this. Or Dragon Ball Z Connect, hey, we're going to bullshit this. I'm good. But what do you guys think about Budokai Tenkaichi? Like, explain to me, like, y'all's reactions when you saw that. Did y'all think this shit was fake? Were y'all just, like, going crazy? Like, I was like, bro, what? Oh, man. Oh, but I got a couple of super chats I got to answer real quick. So while you guys answer that, I'm going to go ahead and respond. Oh, and shout out to all the people who've been coming up to the chat. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? We got Playboy Khalifa. We got Ghost Sniper. Who else we got in here that I saw? We got Film Lover. We got John the Don, my brother. What's up? And we got Rescue Squad as well. What's going on, people? But yeah, so super chats. So we got $5 coming in from the homie Artsy Avanti. Which series is better, Tenkaichi or Raging Blast? Also, can we unfortunately expect microtransactions from the new game? So, yeah, I mean, I think I more or less answered the second part of the question. We just don't know how it's going to be handled, the DLC practices. Because that franchises like Dragon Ball are very ripe for lucrative monetization practices. So we'll have to see to the extent of what that is. You know, at least in the case of Dragon Ball FighterZ, because it was a legitimate fighting game where they took the time to create the characters and balance them out, there is more to it when a new character gets announced. But if the Tenkaichi series is not that deep and it's just like, hey, clone characters were selling out, I don't think they can really get away with that. But then again, Xenoverse, I mean, that game, people had no issues with that. The support of that game was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But what's better, Tenkaichi or Raging Blast? I mean, honestly, I would have to say the Tenkaichi series. The Raging Blast graphics, them shits was fire, bro. But Tenkaichi, you definitely just had a lot more to work with in terms of the roster and the characters and shit like that. But Raging Blast is still a cool series, man. I still love the intro song for the first game. Oh man, that shit was fire, bro. Let's see. So we have $5 coming in from Hibachi. Do you think Dragon Ball Tenkaichi Budokai will have every character? I want to play as Tambourine so bad. Yeah, it's a good question, man. I mean, that's like kind of one of the benefits of having it be more like a party pick up and play game that anyone can try. You don't have to put too much complexities into the fighting system, so you can have the characters you want to play as, like a Tambourine or a Rayleigh, or, you know, just like the random, you know, Frieza Soldier that everybody loves. Shout out to the Frieza Soldier. Nah, Frieza Soldier was goated. $1.99 from the Sensu Bean plug. Do you remember Dragon Ball Z Taiketsu from the Game Boy? Yes, I do. I do remember that. I remember I rented it from Blockbuster. I don't remember liking it too much. I think transforming was kind of weird. I think I still have some of my Game Boy Advance games up here somewhere. Where the fuck did they go? Oh yeah, I saw them. Yeah, all the way back here. I show these Game Boy Advance games like once every year. You guys know this. So a lot of the OGs are like, here we go. Going down memory lane. A whole bunch of Game Boy Advance games. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? The game. I have the rest of my GBA collection in storage, but these are just like random loose cartridges I have. Of course, listen. Of course. Listen, gains, neoflexion. No, not even, bro. I did have a good workout today. What's up, Marcus? You know this. I had to dust this one off real quick. Y'all already know what it's all about. Y'all already know what it's all about. What y'all know about this Golden Sun? Is that Golden Sun? Yes, it is. Yes, it is Golden Sun. One of the best, absolute best Game Boy Advance games of all time. Neo stronger than One Punch Man. No, I am not stronger than Saitama, my friend. Never that. But y'all know what this is. That Golden Sun. Ooh, since we're on the topic of Dragon Ball. Ooh, Legacy of Goku. Legacy of Goku. Solid game. Solid game, you know what I'm saying? Solid game. But you know, it does not compare to the GOAT that is the Legacy of Goku 2. Wow, I had to keep y'all waiting with that one. Legacy, the amount of fucking, if you could wear out a cartridge of a game playing it, that would be Legacy of Goku 2. I don't know where Boost Fury is probably in storage, but that Legacy of Goku 2, that was my shit, bro. And then what else I have on here? I have Naruto Ninja Council. Yeah, like I said, I just bought almost every Naruto game. Yeah. Yes, sir. Kingdom Hearts fans. The real Kingdom Hearts 2 right here. With Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Can you focus Logitech webcam, please? Or did I turn off auto? I think I turned off autofocus. Yeah, I did. But yeah, that Chain of Memories. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Oh, and since we have Mr. Positive Gamer in here. Dexter, from when I got my PSP Slim. Oh, them UMDs. UMD life, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here's a deep cut. Here's a deep cut. If y'all had the PSP back in the day, y'all remember when we used to buy movies for our PSPs and we used to buy TV shows and the TV shows would only be like 1 or 2 episodes on the disc? I got a Family Guy thing. I think this came included with my PSP, but they also sold some UMDs with Family Guy, and this came with, how many episodes did it have? Approximately 112 minutes. So that's like what, a solid 3-4 episodes? 3-4 episodes on a fucking UMD. Whenever we went on vacation, I would just pack a couple of these in my bag. Like I had a couple of movies. What did I have? I had Napoleon Dynamite. We really used to be buying UMD movies. I had Napoleon Dynamite. I had Click. And I love this shit, bro. I'm dead. It says mastered in high definition. Yeah, for my PSP. For my fucking PSP. Full-length movie, widescreen, DVD picture quality. For my PSP. Oh, of course you got the GOAT. You got the GOAT, Birth by Sleep. And, hold on. And again, you guys know this. 2 copies of Crisis Core. One of which, well, the game is in my old PSP. But the other one is Advent Children on Blu-ray. Oh, man. This is really an era. Like, could you try explaining this to, like, the youth of today? Yes, I said the youth. The youth. The youth. Try explaining this to the kids of today. Like, yeah, we used to buy movies for our game handhelds. Like, what? You're like, yeah, we used to do that. You couldn't download them? No. Oh, man, bro. Well, let me put these back real quick. Let's see. And, of course, a Game Boy Advance collection would not be complete without Pokemon. This... Man, the amount of times I played through Pokemon Sapphire, y'all, Jesus Christ. Pokemon Sapphire got me through a really... personally, like, when I was a kid, I had a lot of fears and phobias. So, like, for me, like, before I was able to, like, properly express my feelings and emotions, I would just, like, dive into playing video games and shit. And Pokemon Sapphire was, like, that game where, like, I just always remember fond times. Like, whenever I was just going through shit, I would play it. And... it just reminds me... it reminds me of those times, but at the same time reminds me of, like, what I was able to overcome. So it's, like, really special. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, so we got a couple more super chats. $5 coming in from Julian Phoenix. What's the worst Dragon Ball game? For me, it's Final Bout and the first Legacy of Goku. DBZ Sagas is obviously up there. But yeah, out of the stuff that I've played, Final Bout was interesting because it was like, oh my god, this is a GT fighting game that came out before GT came out in the States. But yeah, any Dragon Ball game that just didn't have a lot of content and maybe like the controls weren't that great. But Sagas was definitely trash, bro. $5 coming in from Marcus Doterel. Tenkaichi 2 is the best game in the series. Y'all only plays 3 for the characters, but the story mode and gameplay took a hit. 2 is the ultimate DBZ game. Yes, I agree with that. But at the same time, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is so awesome, bro. I love that roster. I love that character roster. $2 from Marcus, not Marcus Doterel. Where is it? DimWitMonkey. No cap. PSPs were for Pornhub. Oh, absolutely, man. The amount of... Let me stop. It's too early in the night. DBZ for Connect. You see, I don't even want to count DBZ for Connect. But also, Ultimate Tenkaichi was really bad, too. NintenDon The Otaku with the $5 super chat. Have you checked out the Game of the Year? Manga Makers Mega Milkers. 10 out of 10 plot. Story is better than The Last of Us. Gameplay goes hard. That's probably not the only thing that was hard with you. Highly recommended. Can we get your wife? Can we get your wife on the show one of these days, bro? I just need to. I need her viewpoint on this because I know you say she cool with it, but at the same time, man, I just need to hear it from her mouth, bro. Oh, that's just something else. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Like, but I've just been high-key considering going out there and buying another PS3 or another 360, man. Like, because I booted up Red Dead Redemption on my Series X because I had another playthrough going and I wanted to finish it. And I was just playing through that shit and I was like, man, some of these 360 games just hit different, bro. And I know y'all could say, Neo, that's that amount of years that have passed and nostalgia's talking, bro, but there was just such a, like, beauty in those games, man. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because they were experimenting more and doing a lot of stuff, but man, like, I want to finish up playing Red Dead Redemption. I want to finish up playing this BioShock Remastered playthrough, finish up my Mass Effect Legendary playthrough, and I'm just like, all those games were from that era, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a mood. Maybe I'm in a mood. Maybe I want to go back to those times. $4.99 coming in from the Sensu Beam plug. Did you know that there's a Dragon Ball Evolution movie game, and of course it's trash? Yes, there is a game, and it was actually developed by Dimps. So they made a Dragon Ball Evolution game on the PSP, and Dimps, the people who worked on the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games, developed it. And from what I saw, and from what I got a chance to actually play, because I downloaded a pirated version of it on a hacked PSP, I played like 5 minutes, so I can't really say with certainty. It was better than the movie. It was better than the movie. It's not good. It's not great. That's not a ringing endorsement like, hey, kids, go track down a copy of Dragon Ball Evolution for the PSP. But hey, listen, it was a thing. It was a thing. Golly, bro. Somebody actually looked at Dragon Ball Evolution and said, yeah, put that shit in theaters. You know what's funny? And I love telling the story. I was actually considering going to see Dragon Ball Evolution in theaters. I was, ladies and gentlemen. I was high-key considering going out there and watching it, but not day one. Not day one. I had some sense. But I was like chilling on Saturday afternoon, and I called up my local theater to check screen times. Because, you know, back in the day, we didn't have no internet to go ahead and just look up screen times. We either had to call the theater, go to the theater, or we had to, like, if you had like some TV channels, they would show you the screen times and the newspaper, of course. So I called up my theater and I was like, oh, they're playing it today. Should I go see it? Nah, I'm not going to do it. So a week goes by and I'm thinking to myself, why do I want to fucking see this movie? Just to see how bad it is? Fuck it, let's go. So I go ahead and I call up my theater. There are no more screen times for Dragon Ball Evolution. That thing was in my theater for a week, and that was it, bro. It probably made a grand total of $14.67. That was it, bro. And you know what? That was God looking out for me, because then a few months later, it hit the torrents, and then I watched it, and then you know how, like, gentlemen, You've heard of post-nut clarity. I had myself a major case of post-nut clarity. I was like, what was I thinking? I was going to go spend my allowance money on this. I was going to spend my money on this, bro. 15-year-old me. And remember, back in the day, any money that you had saved up, we made that shit last, bro. Guys, you remember what $20 used to buy you in 2009? Do y'all remember that shit? I remember back in 2009, we can go to GameStop with $20 and buy like 5 different games. Oh, man. What a time, bro. What a time. What's up, B-Rex Media? No, you still haven't seen that movie, bro? But Battle of Z wasn't the worst game. It was just bad. Like, it was terrible. Bad, yes. Like, I had some fun with it. But, you know, again, it's like that era of let's just do random shit. You know what I'm saying? I had fun with it. Like, it was a great time killer on the Vita. I'll say that much. And it had co-op, so, you know, everything is kind of fun in co-op to an extent. Oh, yes, The Big Lebowski is a fantastic movie. I need to get that on 4K. $20 bought me mad Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster packs. That's a fact, Yotsuki. That's a fact. $20 back in the day, bro. You could buy so much shit. Now $20 is like how much I spend on McDonald's for myself. And I don't even eat McDonald's like that. But every time I go to McDonald's, I'm like, why am I spending almost $20 here? This is a problem. This is wrong. This is wrong. When I first saw Dragon Ball Evolution, I thought I was trash. Even before the internet says it was trash, says it was Avatar: Last Airbender. So I would say if I had to pick between Avatar: Last Airbender or Dragon Ball Evolution, I would take the Avatar: Last Airbender movie at the very least, because that Dragon Ball Evolution, that was an assault on my intelligence, bro. At least the Last Airbender movie was like Shyamalan bad, but the Dragon Ball Evolution, they really thought they was doing something. They thought they was cooking. They thought they was cooking, bro. They really did, man. Yeah, that's true, DIMWITMONKEY. Yeah. We got $4.99 super chat coming in from Long Live Kevin Samuels. Yes, sir, the Godfather. If someone held you at gunpoint, but they will let you go if you recite an anime opening in original Japanese, what are you choosing? Ooh, oh, that's very easy, bro. That is very easy. So, Chala Head Chala from Dragon Ball. That's a given. Most of the Naruto intros I have memorized. Demon Slayer's openings, the first opening and the second opening. No, so the first opening and the third opening. Shit, man. Like Attack on Titan, Guren no Yumeya, Sasageo. Definitely that Demon Slayer opening though. Like absolutely. Tsuyoku. Bokuo. Neo, you gotta stop getting 3 Big Macs every time. Come on, I don't. Listen, so my McDonald's order, for those who don't know, my McDonald's order is I get like a double quarter pounder with cheese and bacon. I get a large fries. I get a M&M Oreo McFlurry and McNuggets. And somehow that comes to close to $20. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You'll be singing the Dress Up Darling intro. Eventually I'll watch that show. I did a review of the Avatar movie on YouTube on my old account all those years ago. It's still up. I think it was like 10K views. Oh, I got to go ahead and rewatch that shit, bro. LaFoot 4? Hey, man, that's a classic entertainment right there. Nah, man, Evolution, bro. Man. Order me 2 chicken sandwiches from Burger King. Yo, I used to be getting... Well, I haven't had Burger King in so many years, guys. I used to be a Burger King kid. Like, when everyone else was like McDonald's this, McDonald's that, I was Burger King because I swore by their fries. I swore by the Whopper. And then I remember I went there when I was like 16, 17. And I was just like, what happened to Burger King? It changed, bro. It changed. Maybe it should just change when I started spending my own money on shit. That could be the reason. That could definitely be the reason. Go from Naruto? Oh, absolutely, Jason. You want to know why? Because we were fighting dreamers, bro. Evolution was great if you and your friends are fucked up. Well, I could think of plenty of other things me and my friends can do if we're fucked up. Like play Mario Party. No, but actually, Mario Party sounds like somebody might get into a damn fight trying to play that game. There's only 3 brain cells left, Flame. Yeah, I know, man. Watching all the freaking weirdo anime you be watching. Oh, Bluebird? Absolutely, Corey. I was listening to you know what I do when I'm in the gym, you guys? I just listen to this like one compilation of all the Naruto intros, the TV size versions, and I just let that play, bro. Start on my workout. And then by the time I finish stretching, I'm already on like intro. If I'm talking about Shippuden, I'm already on like intro 9. I love Lovers. Y'all know that intro from Naruto Shippuden, right? I love that shit, dude. I love Divers. I love Lovers. Shippuden's just got too many banger intros, bro. The first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth. They got all these banger intro. Okay, it stops after intro 7. I didn't really fuck with intro 7. It was okay. It was alright. Intro 8, banger. I love intro 9 too. Oh man, I love intro 9. Oh, look, NKDN got the coupons to Burger King. Yes, sir. Just best gym music is You Say Run. Yo, honestly, like for me, best gym music is anything that I like connect with. So it could be You Say Run. It could be like One Winged Angel from Advent Children. Bro, I was listening to like the Urusei Yatsura intros. Like, I just be listening to shit that gets me in the mood, bro. It's the strangest thing. Cyborg 009's opening was pretty good. Gundam Wings opening. Yo, you know what had a good opening from Gundam? Was it Gundam Wing? Wait, no. Was it Gundam Seed Destiny? Invoke? I think that was the name of the intro by TM Revolution. Talk about it, Flame. The new Urusei Yatsura intros are fire, bro. Bro, I be listening to that shit all the time, especially the second intro. Favorite version of One Winged Angel? Ooh, I love the one they did for Advent Children the most. I love that shit to death, bro. That's another scene I'd be watching in the gym. When shit gets serious, bum, 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 and you need the sound effects of the sword hitting the sword and the characters grunting and Sephiroth saying your geostigma is gone. How disappointing. Oh! Oh. Man, I just turned into a whole little hype beast, man. Like, yo. Listening to Goku turn Super Saiyan 3. Oh, Pooh, what's up, man? How you doing? Dude, Goku turning Super Saiyan 3, just the screaming and just like the man. And then there's that one bit like after like, you know the scene when he's turning Super Saiyan 3 and then it shows like him going from the ape to a human and then a little kid Goku and spinning around like right before it shows like his Super Saiyan 3 transformation. Oh man, I feel God in this Chili's tonight. Yeah, anime just in general has got a bunch of good music, man. Did you watch the Bakugan show? I watched the first season when it was on TV, and the only reason, okay, so I had this weird hatred of Bakugan because here's the reason why. Because Bakugan, so when I was a kid, like, okay, so I had to be up for school at 6:30. I had to be up at 6:30, even though school technically didn't start till like 8:15 for us. I went to this extracurricular thing in the morning for performing arts because I was in choir. So we did that, and that started at 7:20, right? So it went from 7:20 to I think 8:10, 8:15. And so I had to be up at 6:30, right? So I had to be up at 6:30 to get ready for school, leave here by 7. And I always hated fucking Bakugan because every single time I would wake up before my alarm at like 6:25, that was right when Bakugan was starting. And I would just wake up and I'd see that shit starting. And I was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go back to sleep. Oh man, I hated that show for that exact reason. But no, I mean, I watched it like, but Bakugan came out at a time where I was kind of phasing out of those kind of like, hey, let's make shows around card games. Like for me, that peaked with Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched the first 2 seasons of Beyblade. I watched Duel Masters for a bit. That was kind of fun. But then after that, I was like, I would like other shows. I'm assuming Attack on Titan already got some love in this stream. No, Rory. Well, outside of the intros, I haven't watched the Attack on Titan episode. I was gonna watch it tonight, but me and my sister are having anime night. So we're gonna watch some Full Metal Alchemist after this. Hey, what's up, that guy? We got CB, that guy. How you doing? And what's up to everybody who's been in the chat? Duel Master was fire. Tell you the truth, guys, I only watched Duel Master because I think the main guy was voiced by Joshua Seth, and Joshua Seth voiced Tai in Digimon. I could just remember his voice. Ooh, last surprise. Yo, honest to God, you guys, I feel like to me, the last moment in recent memory where like okay, so not to make it sound like a bleak thing, like Neo is everything okay, but to me, the last moment where I was just like looking at life and playing a video game and being like, oh, this is good. This right here is good. Like everything is perfect in life right now. Everything was when Persona 5 came out. Like that game, I had taken off some time from work specifically to play that game, and my entire routine for a solid week and change was wake up, go to the gym, come home, eat, play Persona, go to bed, wake up, repeat, do whatever errands I got to do. I did that shit for a solid week or so, and everything in the world was just beautiful, and it was perfect and fine, and it was just beautiful, man. Now, I'm not saying that like life went downhill from there, but it's like one of those things where it's just like, oh, this game fundamentally affected me to my core. And it's just, it's like, I'm still really enjoying games, but there was just something about that game and the time when it came out and just everything in my life. It was like a perfect, beautiful storm of happiness. And I felt happy like that since, but not to that same degree. Not to that same degree. Hence the shrine. Hence the shrine. But I think everybody has like a game or a show or a movie that's kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? $2 from Julian Phoenix. Dog, they canceled the Rogue Squadron film. Yeah, so for those who don't know, Hollywood, I think it was either Hollywood Reporter or Variety. They came out and they said that both Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie and Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie have been shelved indefinitely. So that means that they are no longer in active development, which is just another L for Star Wars movies, man. Looks like we're not getting a Star Wars movie for like the next 40 years. Oh, for some people, it's Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I heard a lot of people say that with Breath of the Wild. Last Surprise or Takeover? Definitely Last Surprise. Definitely Last Surprise. I would play Last Surprise at the club, bro. Don't not tempt me. Oh, bribe that DJ. Inuyasha was always on my TV before I got on the bus for high school. Yeah. Wait, Inuyasha was always on your TV before you went to high school? Inuyasha was on Adult Swim, though. Unless you, like, recorded the episodes or something. It's been downhill since, but we're finally getting back to peak. Oh, God. Yeah. Listen, listen. You know what I need to do? I need to finish the Breath of the Wild DLC. I never touched it. I did the game, the base game, and I was like, oh, this is great. But, like, I never touched the DLC. I bought it, though, and I was like, I gotta do this. But now I'm getting so close to Tears of the Kingdom, I might just say, wait. Like, just wait, Neo. Wait. There's no reason to. $5 from Julian Phoenix. Did you see the Mandalorian episode? It was low-key mid. I'm sick of Grogu. Okay, so first off, I did see the Mandalorian episode. Second, we are not going to slander Grogu because that is my guy. But yeah, the episode was very mid. The intro was great. Like, I loved the fight in the beach. That was cool, but everything else just felt so slow. Like, this is the first episode of season 3. I feel like we didn't really do stuff. It feels like we're just, like, chugging along at a snail's pace, which I don't think is what you need for a debut episode. You do that for like an episode 3 or an episode 4. The debut episode is supposed to be bombastic, or at least like very gripping and engaging with the dialogue. This was just a lot of like, Mando, you know? And I'm like, all right. It's like, Mando, I was in the Rocky movies. Okay. No, I didn't see Dr. Stone. About the only extent I know about Dr. Stone is my friend does a really sick cosplay of whoever the main dude is. Yeah, yo, Corey, you gotta finish them Resident Evil games, bruh. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. I gotta play Resident Evil 3 Remake. I have that on Steam. And you know what? Like, I have Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation. I don't have Resident Evil 3 on console. they're both like, I think if you could buy both games on Xbox, like $14, I might just say fuck it and do it. The amount of copies I own of Resident Evil games is insane. Did you guys know I own Resident Evil 5 on 360, PS3, PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox. I might fuck around and get it on the Switch for no reason. Like, I own... Why do I own 6 copies of that fucking game? I love it, though. I love Resident Evil 5. I don't care what people say. Oh. Like, listen, man. Resident Evil 5 is one of the best co-op games of all time, bro. Like, you cannot play that game solo. You gotta run it with people. Yeah, Mandalorian does start off slow, Rory, but at least, like, at least season 1 gave you, like, damn, this is an intro. You know what I'm saying? And it set things up like, what is going on? Here, it was just like, okay, I know these characters, but nothing left me like, what is going on? You gotta have that, you know? But I think the season's gonna be good. It ain't gonna be no Book of Boba Fett. $2 from Hibachi. Do you remember Jetix? Oh, absolutely. Jetix, Maguzi, Toonami, all that, man. Yeah, punch that boulder. Boom! Dude. So me and Joaquin are thinking about playing Resident Evil 5 on Xbox. But one thing that sucks about Xbox is that it doesn't capture the party chat audio like PlayStation does. And I love that about PlayStation because there are so many clips of my time playing Resident Evil 5 that I uploaded to Facebook and now I'm reposting it on Twitter every time it pops up into the, the memories tab. And it is just some funny, like, unhinged shit between us, bro. Like, yo. And I could go ahead and play it, like record the audio on Discord and then like sync it. I'm like, sometimes I just like to be lazy and have everything done on the console. Let's see. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 does come out this month. I want to get it, but at the same time, I'm like, oof, let me finish some shit first. Imagine they decide to remake Resident Evil 5 next and not Code Veronica. If they remake Resident Evil 5, I will be the first person to say, y'all are pushing it. Code Veronica needs some love. $5 from Hibachi. Also, do you remember when Adult Swim played anime every day and not just Saturdays? Yes. I was fortunate enough to grow up in a heyday where we had Toonami every single day and we had Adult Swim every single night playing anime. What did we have on Adult Swim? We had Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop. We had Big O. We had Samurai Champloo. We had Full Metal Alchemist. We had Trinity Blood. We had Wolf's Rain. We had Ghost in the Shell. We had a lot of stuff, man. So much stuff. $1.99 from Zack Rodriguez. Resident Evil 5 is my game fan, but my fans hate on the game. Listen, I don't care. I love Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 5, yes, it is not a good Resident Evil game in the traditional sense, but it is a very fun co-op game. The Resident Evil 6, that just went to different places. Yeah, we have Blood Plus. We had Shin-Chan. Oh, Shin-Chan is still one of the funniest English dubs of all time. Dad, will you buy me a shotgun? Question, Chris. Who saved Grogu in Order 66? It was Dio, obviously. Let's see. Yeah, no Resident Evil 5 slander on my feed. Somnus from Final Fantasy 15 is just so great. Dude, you know what, Corey Gryffindor? It's funny you mentioned that because so mornings where I don't have to work, you know, I usually go to the gym. So like this morning, like every single time I'm getting ready, I like to play something, whether it's a podcast or whether it's music. And today I decided to play the Final Fantasy 15 soundtrack, specifically the final track, like that plays during the credits, like right before you hit the title reveal. Like, you know, anyone who's played 15, you guys know the title reveal scene at the very end of the game. And it was just such a beautiful, beautiful score. And then it feeds into the original Final Fantasy theme. And I was like, oh, man. Resident Evil 4 is mid. Yep, I said it. Well, you shouldn't have said it because you're about to hit the meanest block right now, arsonist. No Resident Evil 4 slander. If you're in party chat, you should be able to switch your audio settings to play through your headset and TV. Only works for party chat, though. Yeah, no, I'm talking about, where the capture software can record both the party chat and your microphone and sync it with the gameplay. That's something I love about the PlayStation. $5 coming in from Jason. Remember when they canceled Toonami and did CN Real though? That was what led me to all your Cartoon Network rants and that was what led me to all those Cartoon Network rants and inevitably to yours. Yeah, yo, my nigga Chris. Whenever we do that inevitable trip down memory lane, we are gonna watch that Cartoon Network rant. That CN Real, holy bro. They thought they was cooking, bro. They thought they was cooking. They thought they was cooking with that CN Real, bro. They like out of all the things, Cartoon Network. But real. People got paid money. Like, big executives got paid money. And they thought that shit was a good idea. Can you imagine being like a kid who was working on that show and like 10 years later, like, hey, like, what's your qualifications? Yeah, I was on TV on Cartoon Network. Like, really? What? Who'd you voice? No, I was on CN Real, bro. He was a what? CN Real, bro. Yeah, okay. Goodbye. Outlaw Star is amazing. Yes, if you guys have not watched Outlaw Star, definitely check it. Oh God, yeah, I'm just bringing up all the bad memories for you guys. $5 coming in from Julian Phoenix. You said you worked in a restaurant, so which is more annoying? People who order at the last minute or people who come in first? Oh, absolutely people who order at the last minute. Listen, I don't care if we open up at 11 o'clock in the morning and you were here at 11:01, I do not care because restaurants we're always prepped. So like when we open the doors at 11, it's not like a Best Buy or whatever. It's like literally like you have people come in like 30 to 45 minutes beforehand and they prep everything. They start up the fryers. They start up everything. So if you come in at 11:01, good. That's it. We only have to cook. That's it. Right. We have to do it anyway. But when you come in last minute, oh my God, that is the worst thing because how it works in most restaurants, like we're talking like dine-in establishments, if you come in there, like let's say for example, if we close at 11 o'clock and it starts slowing down, the restaurant manager will make the decision to be like, okay, let's close down this thing here, this section of the kitchen here. Let's close down that. So by the time we lock the doors, there's minimal cleanup that needs to be done. And you could be out of the restaurant within like the next like 30 to 40 minutes, depending on things. But when you have people who come in literally like 5 minutes before you close, it is the worst thing because it throws everything off because you have to make sure that first off, you seat them. And then they're going to need time to look at their menu. And then they're going to order their food. And then from the time they get into the restaurant to when they get out, if you are lucky, it's 45 minutes at the least. For most people, it's over an hour. So figure that. Someone comes in at 10:55. We close at 11. Bare minimum, they're not leaving until 11:30, 11:45. So that means you still have to go ahead and clean up all the stuff beforehand. That means the server who's there has to make sure that the table is completely bussed and wiped down. That means the dishwasher has to wait and do whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it went from leaving the restaurant at 11:30 on a really early night and going home and getting home early to bare minimum, you guys not leaving until like 12, 12:15, maybe 12:30, depending on things. Like that is an extra hour difference. And I cannot stand people who come into restaurants. Like even me, as someone who even before I worked in the restaurant industry, I would never go into a restaurant an hour before they closed. I made sure it was bare minimum 90 minutes. So if someplace closes at 9, I made sure I was in there 7:30, no later than 7:30. If it was 8 o'clock, I was pushing it. But there's some people who just don't fucking care. And man, it's like going into a Stop and Shop. Oh, they close at 10. They close at 10. You come in at 9:59. Like, bro, stop it. I hate that shit, bro. No cap. We had a family coming at 8:55 asking for fried food. We closed at 9 and told us to rev up the fryers. Dude, and you know what the worst thing is? Like, the worst part about it is like depending on what restaurant you work at, if it's like a corporate establishment, technically you can't say no unless you want to get in trouble with corporate. But man, sometimes I would just tell people like, lock the fucking doors, bro. Lock it, bro. Because you don't realize like that money that you're going to make off of that food is not going to cover the time and the effort that you were going to waste in that hour making sure you clean up all that shit. I hate that entitlement. I hate that shit too, bro. It's just so fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't know, like, who raised some of these people. Like, I don't know if it's like everybody needs to work retail or work in a food establishment, work hospitality to understand what folks go through and why they get pissed off if you come in right before you close. And the people that come in late never tip well. Of course they don't. Anyone with common decency, I'm not saying if you come in early or promptly, you're going to tip well. I'm not saying that. But if you come in last minute, you have no fucking decency, bro. That's why I always tell people, hey, like, because someone asked me one time, because I remember I was with a group of people a few years ago, and we were looking at places to eat. And it was, I think, 9 o'clock when we got out of the concert, and we were just like looking for places to eat. And so we were looking at this one spot, and they closed at 10. And by the time that we had gotten there, because we were in the city, by the time we had taken the subway over there, it would probably be 9:30. And I said, no, we're not going to that place. They close at 10 o'clock. By the time we get there at 9:30 and we sit down, we get everything situated, they're going to be closed. And like, why? Let's go there. I don't understand what the big deal is. They close at 10. And I said, look at it like this. Let's say you get home from work. Let's say you've showered, you brush your teeth, you put on your pajamas, you're ready to sit in bed. Let's say I come and I knock on your door and I say, hey, you got to let me in because I'm your friend. And if you don't let me in, we're not friends anymore. You're going to tell me to go fuck off, right? Exactly. Like that's the exact same thing. If you come in last minute, the food is not going to be that great quality. The service is not going to be great quality because everybody knows, like, why the fuck are you coming in here right when we're closing? I want to go to sleep. I want to go home. I show up late and tip good. Well, see, Don Otaku, good for you, but we got to stop. You got to stop showing up late. We're a small hole-in-the-wall joint. We barely make enough to cover labor after 8. Half the time, no one's in there after 7:30. Yeah, that's the thing. See, B-Rex, you understand. As someone who's worked in the restaurant industry, yeah. Like, the time that after a certain hour, some people just don't start coming. So that's when you start shutting things down. That's when you start cutting people. It sounds so weird to say that if you don't understand restaurant terminology, but cutting people means like you cut the staff if you don't need them because it's a slow night or whatever. Like, it is what it is. It's not like you're actually cutting people. And Don Otaku was like, yeah, I cut all the Witcher fans. What are you talking about? Neo shows up to his streams like most customers do to his restaurants. So I show up late. I showed up on time, sir. No slander. To be honest, this is valuable info. I had no idea of this. I guess we're not friends anymore. Don Otaku, we were never friends in the first place. Boom! I'm just kidding. I love you, bro. Nah, but as a general rule, don't be showing up to restaurants like when they're about to close. Like, it just is what it is. And when you go to restaurants, you know, okay, I'm not gonna make this whole restaurant rant. I can make that whole series and shit. Don't be a Don Otaku. Don't be a Don Otaku and show up to a restaurant 1 minute before they close. I used to work in a restaurant, but now I work at a hotel and we literally never close. Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Like, I remember because I went to Otakon last summer and I stayed in DC. I stayed at a really nice hotel. And like, I remember like, yeah, these hotels are run around the clock 24/7. And they literally meant that. I remember I came in, I checked in at like 12 and then no, I checked in. What time I checked? I checked in at 3. And I remember I came back because I was hanging out with Deli. You guys know Deli, Agent Die on Twitter. And I remember I came back home around like 3 something and the same person was still working the same shift. And I was like, oh shit. Like she might have been pulling a double or a 12-hour shift or something, but I was like, oh shit. That night when the family came in at 8:55, our cook had already cut off the grill and was cleaning out the fryers, and I haven't heard so many expletives in such a loud volume prior to that. Yes, people hate that shit. People hate when folks come in last minute. It's like literally throws us off. It's terrible, man. It's terrible, bro. It is fucking terrible. It is. $4.99 from Zack Rodriguez. Hey, Neo, I just got done with the gym. My man. Putting in those gains. I love it. Also, I've been loving Persona 4 and just found the Fox. I'm playing on hard and this game is way harder than Persona 5 Royale. Yes. That's just the thing. That's just the nature of a lot of JRPGs before the PS4 generation. They were just a lot more difficult. Well, games in general were a lot more difficult before last generation. Games are definitely more accessible now, and they're a lot easier by comparison. So hard is the new normal difficulty for a lot of games. That's where if you want to have a little bit of challenge. Especially with Persona 4. Even Persona 4 in the normal difficulty is harder by comparison to Persona 5 Royal. So, yeah, Persona 5 Royal is very much so a cakewalk. It is very much so a cakewalk. You don't have to play on... That's why it's so weird when I see people play Persona 5 on the story mode difficulty or the safe room difficulty, the safe mode difficulty, whatever it's called. Because it's like, Bro, you literally have to be dumb at the game to be losing a lot. Like, I'm not talking about like you miscalculate something and your character dies, because that's the one thing I don't like about Persona. If the main character dies, you're fucked. But we all die randomly, okay? But if you have constantly dying in Persona 5, there is a problem. There's a big problem. It's very strange. Oh, you should definitely go for Star Wars Celebration, Chris. You would love it, bro. I went to Star Wars Celebration a few years ago. I had an amazing time. Yep, they always order the complicated stuff. And no, I haven't checked out when the promised flower blooms yet. I haven't. It's still on the list, don't worry. Hey, Steve Killer, what's going on, my brother? How was work, man? Neo disappeared for $6. God. Neo disappeared for 6 months and came back like he never left. We bought tickets to the show, showed up, and I weren't even here. We didn't forget Mr. On Time. Listen, I showed up and I've been consistent with the shit. I've been consistent with it. I've been showing up to the streams early. Look at that. We getting it. Yes, sir. 199 from Long Live Kevin Samuels. Thoughts on the TMNT trailer? Amazing art style. Absolutely incredible art style. If there's one thing that, I mean, I'm not saying Spider-Verse 100% contributed to it, but it's definitely the one that kicked things off. The art style that we've seen a lot of these animated movies, from Spider-Verse to Puss in Boots, now this new TMNT movie, it's fantastic. It's less of like very bland and generic 3D animation, more like vibrant and stylistic, and it just looks awesome, dude. I love it. So expressive. In terms of the quality of the movie, I don't really know, because the thing about the most Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle media, outside the comics, is that they're very, well, at least like the shows and the movies as of late, they're not, okay, as weird as this fucking sounds, I know I'm gonna sound like that old guy, but it's not the shit that I grew up on. Like, to me, peak TMNT content, if we're talking animation, is the 2003 TMNT series and the first TMNT movie that came out back in the day. Like, I love that stuff. If we're talking stuff that's outside the comics, and of course the IDW run on the comics, like, that stuff is great to me. And the stuff that we've gotten since then, like, I really enjoyed the TMNT 07 movie, but all the other animated series since, kind of hit and miss. And, you know, it's definitely more geared towards kids than the previous stuff. So, you know, not my cup of tea. But hey, you know, I admit that that's not my target audience. It's not my target demographic. I'm not their target demographic. So I'm not going to sit here and get mad that something that's not made for me in mind isn't appealing to me. But from an animated point of view, I think that this looks nice. Looks cool. I want it to be a good movie. But yeah, like, to me, like, Turtles peaked in 2003. Like, that show should not... That show... Man, if you guys go back and rewatch it, it holds up very, very well. Hey, Michael Santiago, what's up, bro? What's up, Neo? Man, work was rough in the ER today. I can't wait to go home and sleep. My brother, yes, bro, I get this. I get this all the time. Like, because I have a lot of friends who work in the medical industry, and, you know, my girlfriend, she's a nurse. So, like, when those days hit, they fucking hit, my brother. So I wish you all the best recovery. I wish you all the best rest, sleep, relaxation, get a lot of gaming in, eat a lot of food, have a lot of sex, bro. Do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do to decompress, my guy. Because you out here saving lives, my brother. You deserve all the rest in the world. Neo, do you watch Demon Slayer, and are you going to go see the new movie? So I do watch Demon Slayer. I'm all caught up on Demon Slayer. I'm not going to watch the new movie because it's not really worth it, you know, because it's just the last 2 episodes of the Entertainment District arc and then the first episode of the new season. But doesn't the new season come out soon anyway? So why would I spend like $20 on a ticket just to watch 20 minutes of new footage? So I'll just wait for it to come out. Rivers in the desert, baby. Rivers in the desert. Man, the Persona 5 soundtrack is so goated, bro. Hey, Persona, my brother, Persona. How you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Oh, Persona, I don't know if you peeped Twitter, man, but I tagged you in something I know you might get a little bit of a kick out of, bruh. I don't know if you've seen it. I haven't been on Twitter since I started the stream. Yeah, listen, if you guys have not seen that 2003 TMNT series, that shit is fire. Are we ranking Rocky movies in the comments section? If we talk about Rocky movies, oh shit. Obviously I'm a big fan of the first Rocky movie. Like everyone knows that. You can't not love the first Rocky movie. It's a classic. Rocky 3 was really fucking good, obviously. Everything since then is kind of up in the air, you know what I'm saying? Rocky 4, Rocky 5, aspects I enjoyed. Rocky Balboa, okay, I like that somewhat. But again, I got to go back and rewatch like 4, 5, and Rocky Balboa. But Rocky Balboa, I did thoroughly enjoy that when I watched it. But it's been so long since then. But if we're ranking the Creed movies, for me, it's Creed 1, Creed 3, and then Creed 2. But the thing is, they're all still good movies. Like, the first one, man, it's just... I did not expect the first Creed movie to be as good as it did, bro. Like, I just didn't see that coming, bro. It's like, yeah, we're making a Rocky movie that's not about Rocky. It's about the son of fucking Creed, and this is gonna be the film. I was like, oh great, this is gonna turn out horrible, and it ended up being fucking awesome, dude. And then the sequel was solid, you know, not as good as the first one. It didn't hit the same, but the ending was fantastic. And then the third movie was just straight gas, bro. What's up, Captain CJ? Yo, Chris, thanks for your advice on the last stream. I wasn't thinking straight. I was drinking and smoking. Hey, my brother, listen. We all been through it, my guy. We all been through it. And like I said, it's this is definitely a space where we can talk about these things, man. You know, like, because we all go through shit, especially as brothers. You know, we don't often get the opportunity to vent these things. We don't get the chance to speak about these things without, you know, like folks with their preconceived notions about you thinking stuff or telling you what you should or shouldn't do. They don't give you they don't listen to you, man. They don't. They hear you, but they don't fucking listen. So, yeah, man, of course. Of course, that's what we all about, bro. Yeah, Creed should have been trash, but it wasn't. That's the crazy thing. Nah, but Creed 3, okay, real quick. So we'll talk about Creed 3 for a little bit. Julian Phoenix with a $5 super chat. Fam, I'm of the trend of making anime movie episodes and vice versa. Listen, the only time they should ever make something that's the only time they should ever make like anime episodes into a movie is if it's like you're adapting a really crazy part of the manga and you want to give it like the best production value, the best pacing, the best everything. Like Attack on Titan, the finale, I would have loved that as a movie, bro. I would have loved that as a movie, just being in the theater watching that shit. But, you know, we just got to deal with another 40 seasons of Attack on Titan. That just is what it is, man. Is the new Demon Slayer movie really a cash grab? That's what it sounds like to me, Neo. Honestly, Zack Rodriguez, personally, I would say it is. Because you're only really paying for 20 minutes of new footage. And you really have to be a Demon Slayer fan like that to want to watch the final 2 episodes on the big screen. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I love Demon Slayer. I don't know if I love it that much to watch something I've already seen on the big screen. It's very different. Like, it's... If they had literally... So Mugen Train is a perfect example of... I loved what they did with Mugen Train, and then what they did afterwards, I was like, fuck you. Because it's like, hey, here's Mugen Train. You guys love Mugen Train. It's great and everything. It's a whole movie. Awesome. Great. Okay, now we're going to do Mugen Train, but we're going to make it in the anime. And we're just going to take what we did here. We're going to add like 5 minutes of new exposition, and then that's it. And that's fucking it, bro. And I was like, what? It's just, they're trying to milk it, man. And I can't knock the hustle. Bro, Mugen Train, that movie made $500 million during COVID. Like, it was breaking records during COVID, bro. Like, the Demon Slayer love was insane. Oh, you playing Rocket League right now? Ooh, I haven't played that shit in a hot minute, bro. But yeah, let's talk about Creed for a bit. So no, okay, here's the thing. I'm not gonna do any Creed spoilers. Listen, I am not Spoiler Games HDR. Like, I'm not BG. But I will talk about my enjoyment of Creed. So, Creed 3, I actually wasn't even looking for Creed like that. Like, I really enjoyed the second movie, but I'm thinking, all right, you know, Creed had 2 good movies. This is right. And then they said we're doing a third one, and I was like, all right, you know, like I thought it was going to become kind of like the Rocky series where, you know, some of the sequels are good, some of them are not so good. We'll see how this goes. And then we hear that Michael B. Jordan's directing, and I'm just like, oh, here we fucking go. Because it's like, what are we doing here? Like, oh, he's gonna direct it because he played the guy. All right, but does Michael B. Jordan know how to direct? I don't know. So I really wasn't checking for it until I saw the trailer. And like I said, all it takes is one really good trailer to sell somebody on a movie. And I saw that Creed trailer and I was like, okay, you have my attention. I like where this is going. And the more and more I heard about this movie, because like, you know, for most movies, I just like to watch one trailer and leave it alone. But the more and more I heard about this movie from the production side of things, with how Michael B. Jordan talked about it, his influences going into making the movie, I started to get really excited. And I was like, okay, you know, Creed, I'm definitely going to check this out. And I saw the movie and bro, it is actually really friggin' solid. You know, and I'm trying to speak around spoilers, and unfortunately I can't speak. Okay, so next week we're going to talk about Creed spoilers. I'm just being honest. Like, come on, y'all got some time. But the movie itself is very solid. From a direction point of view, Michael B. Jordan as a director, I really want to see where he goes with this, because he's able to, he has a really good eye for cinematography, especially for the fight sequences. And one of the things that he was really heavy about in the movie was he threw a lot of anime references in there. And if you watch this movie, there are a crap ton of anime references, not just like Easter eggs he throws in the background, but I'm talking like legit how certain shots are framed, how certain moves are delivered. Like, it's fucking insane, bro. And again, we'll talk more about that next week. But yeah, in terms of like direction, in terms of like him being able to pull out emotion from certain actors, it's actually really friggin' good, man. There were a couple of things that I was like, okay, so the worst part about Creed 3, and again, this is not a spoiler, so don't worry, Kevin Samuels, but the worst, but I will say, if you don't want to be influenced by what I am saying right now, long live Kevin Samuels, I will say check out for like a solid, come back in 2 minutes. Come back in 2 minutes, Kevin Samuels. This is not a spoiler, but it might affect your viewpoint of the movie. Okay, are you out of the chat, Kevin Samuels? Message me when you're out of the chat. Message me when you are out of the chat. Just so because I don't want to spoil it for him. And everyone else who's listening, if you don't want to, it's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler, but it might affect your enjoyment of the movie. Okay. All right. So Kevin Samuels, he's out of the chat for 2 minutes. All right. So you guys can gauge whether or not this is considered a spoiler. But for me, the worst part about Creed 3 was that it really left me wanting more. And not in the sense that I wish that the movie had done more, because it didn't do anything. It left me wanting more because of how strong of an actor Jonathan Majors is, and the performance he was able to give as the character in the movie, right? He was so good in that role. And I just wanted to see so much more from him in particular. And they could have done a lot more showing the character's background and his arc throughout the movie that brings him from where we see it in the beginning and then where it finally ends up. Because in the beginning of the movie, it goes at a very good pace with his character. And then it's just kind of like a fucking bullet train to get to where we are at the end. And I was just like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up a second, hold up. I feel like there's something missing. How did we go from this to that? Like, we could have progressed, but it just kind of like went quick. And I wanted more from that because it was so good. And if they had given more from that, I feel as if like it would have elevated itself from fantastic to a damn like masterpiece level, because everything else about the movie is so damn good. And if they had just given us more with that, and again, it's kind of hard to speak about because I'd have to get into spoilers, it would have went from fantastic to fucking masterpiece. But as it stands, really good movie. Recommend you guys check it out, and we'll speak more about spoilers next week. So yeah, what's it called? Kevin Samuels, he'll probably come back in. Did you see the thing about Chevy Chase calling Donald Glover the N-word? Did he do what now? What? Hold on. This happened recently? That sounds like something that might have happened on Community. Hold on. Chevy Chase. Oh, boy. Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, claims that Chevy Chase called him the N-word on set. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I mean, then again, like, he just look at somebody. He just look at somebody and you're just like, yeah, you look like the type to say it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah. It's like one of those things that we're now hearing a lot of stuff come out from these shows. A lot of the stuff is now coming out in the limelight because these actors, you know, it's one of those things where I just, you know, I have no stance on it because, like, part of me wants to say, well, Donald Glover, why didn't you say anything at the time? But at the same time, I don't know what fucking happened there. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I'm just like, I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where, yeah, if he was acting like a punk and he did all that shit, then yeah, he should have done something at the time. But again, I don't know exactly the situation and what happened and what went down and blah, blah, blah. But I will say this, Chevy Chase does look like the type. He does look like the type, bro. I thought Chevy Chase was dead. Jesus. Have you seen The Whale yet? Oh, Cutter Freeman, what's up? No, I haven't seen The Whale yet. And at this rate, I'll probably just wait for it to come out on 4K. Yeah, Chevy Chase just comes from that era where people think that, well, I mean, it's still here now, but like, people think that saying whatever you want and someone critiquing you, they think that, oh, you're trying to silence me or something. No, it's like, nah, you're being an asshole, bro. Oh yeah, Donald Glover's apparently working on a Hypno Hustler movie. So, you know, another irrelevant Spider-Man villain is getting a movie because, you know, everything makes sense in this life. Everything makes fucking sense in this life, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. The Matrix is after Chevy Chase, actually. Oh, God. Yeah, I've seen The Warrior. Did Creed 1 and 2 do anime references as well? No, they didn't, actually. Creed 3 having anime references was solely because Michael B. Jordan was the director on the movie. And if you look at Michael B. Jordan, he's a fucking weeb, bro. He was just like, yeah, I'm just talking about like how when you watch these shonen anime and what it means and everything and believing in yourself and persevering and as a black man, everything. I was just like, he's one of us. He's one of us. Yes, I've heard amazing things about The Whale. Have you seen The Menu? Yes. Menu is a fantastic movie. If you guys have not watched it, go watch The Menu. It's on HBO Max. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of movie watching, you guys. Like I said, I've been going through my 4K collection, you know, watching a lot of things there. I just bought Whiplash on 4K because it was on sale. I think it's still on sale on Amazon. If you want to buy it, it's like $18. But I wanted to rewatch it, and I'm so bougie now. Now I'm just like, oh, I can't watch my Blu-ray copy of that. 1080p, that's so 2010. I need that 4K. So I went and I got the 4K version. And yeah, and then yesterday I rewatched RRR for the first time in a while. Oh, such a good movie, you guys. For a 3-hour movie, it does not feel like it. It's so damn good. Oh, man. And I also watched last week, Tuesday night, I watched Babylon. Because it was on Paramount Plus. I'd been meaning to see Babylon. I wanted to watch it in theaters because I love Damien Chazelle. I loved La La Land. I loved Whiplash. So I'm like, all right, let's see what this Babylon's hitting for. Didn't see it in theaters, but I was hearing very like mixed to divisive things about it. So I was like, all right, you know, because when it comes to like mixed movies, sometimes I love them, sometimes I hate them. That's why they're mixed. But I was like, all right, Babylon. This thing is 3 fucking hours long. Let's talk about it. So I saw Babylon and so it's funny. And I love how the music stopped right when I was talking about Babylon. It's like, oh, y'all need to hear this. So So Babylon, the entire discourse that I heard about this movie was you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And I was like, all right, let's see what it is. Is it going to be like a Last Jedi or some shit? But I came away from watching Babylon and I'm just like, yo, that was a movie, bro. That was a movie that they filmed with cameras and actors and they edited it on a computer. That's Babylon. So the movie itself, to me personally, it doesn't do anything remarkable or extraordinary, but it also doesn't do anything terrible at the same time. It to me feels like a movie that's already, as weird as this sounds, you guys, it's a movie that I feel like has already been done to death, and now we're just seeing it done to death, but it's so self-aware that it's done to death that we're going to keep hammering the point home, because the whole point of Babylon is Hollywood is not all the glitz and glamour. Hollywood is terrible, it's evil, it's vile, it will chew you up and then spit you out. That's the whole point of Babylon. And I'm like, okay, I'm on board with that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like an R-rated version of La La Land in that respect, where La La Land, the whole point of that movie was like, hey, you know, your dreams, your aspirations, sometimes it doesn't go the way you want, but that doesn't mean that you can't live a great life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes this love is only temporary, and that is fine. It's awesome. Make a life great. And then with Babylon, it's like, okay, we're going to give you that lesson, but it's going to be R-rated, and it's going to be raunchy, and it's going to be gritty, and that's it. You're going to learn this lesson like every single hour on the hour for the next 3 hours. And it's just, at some point I was like, well, what are we really doing here? What are we really doing here, you guys? You're telling me something and I get it. Like, I understand it. I understand this point. What are we fucking doing? Like, the performances in the movie, Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, they're good, but they're good actors. Like, they even in bad movies, they always deliver good performances. But there's nothing about this Brad Pitt performance or this Margot Robbie performance that I'm just like, this is like a career shining moment. It's literally, they just showed up and they were on autopilot. And it was fine. It was fine. Everything about this movie was fine. You say that was not the only main point of Babylon, not even the main point though. I feel like that was the main point, bro. I feel like that was the main point of the movie. Hollywood is evil. Hollywood is bad. Hollywood is terrible. And it's fine. I get it. And it's like, what else are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, your dreams and your aspirations, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it. Like, shit doesn't go your way, and that's fine. Move on. Yeah. I feel like they covered those same beats in a more family-friendly version of La La Land. I will say this, though. The music in Babylon is fucking God tier, though. The soundtrack, because the like, what's his name? Justin Horowitz? Like, who composed the music? I forgot. Horowitz, something like that. He did La La Land as well. That shit was God tier too. It was so good. It was so good, bro. Like, I sat through the end credits of La La Land, not La La Land, Babylon, just listened to the music. It was fantastic. But yeah, everything else, I'm like, all right. I can't really remember anything notable from Babylon except one scene. And it was an amazing scene. And it's this one scene involving the transition from when they transitioned in the film industry to talking pictures and the trials and tribulations that came with doing that. That scene was awesome. That scene was like, it kind of gave me like Whiplash vibes to a small extent, where it's like, oh, this is very like, oh man, like, oof, oh Jesus. But yeah, it was a movie. It was definitely a movie. I would say watch it. You guys might enjoy it. Like, there's nothing bad about the movie, but there's just nothing remarkably great about the movie. So it's fine. It's just a movie. If this movie was 2 hours, I think it would have been better. 3 hours though, you're asking too much. Was Tobey Maguire in that movie? Yes, he was in that movie, Terrence. He was in a scene towards the end of it. He did a great job, but he was only in like one scene. I kind of wish he was in it more. But he like, Tobey Maguire needs to play a villain in a movie, man. He can pull off that energy so well. $2 super chat from Hibachi. Who wins, Creed or Hajime no Ippo? Oh, definitely Ippo, bro. Definitely Ippo. Come on now. It was just a movie. Yes, it was fine. It was fine. But I would never watch it again. It's not like, okay, not every movie I need to watch again, but that movie, it's like for 3 hours. I don't think I would sit. I don't think I would sit through another 3 hours of that. You just didn't get it, bro. Okay, here we go. Here comes Film Bro. Here comes Film Bro Otaku. Film Bro the Otaku. He did play a villain. It was Emo Parker. True. That is right, Corey. He did play Emo Parker. Tobey Maguire, Sephiroth. I could see that. I could honestly see that in a really fucked up way. Tobey Maguire with like 5 feet of long ass hair. Holy shit. Babylon's too deep for you. Oh Jesus. That's definitely a Down Otaku. Like Down Otaku, he's gonna make that the Hilton. Well, Down Otaku, you gotta break it down for me one day, man. Maybe you need to do a video. Maybe you need to do a video essay like all the cool kids on YouTube about why Babylon is actually deeper. Oh, you're having a Coen Brothers marathon? That's awesome. Straight up cinema, bro. Yeah, I watched the Batman a couple nights ago. That's cinema, bro. Yeah, I loved the Batman. I don't know. Every single time I watch the Batman, I find new reasons to love it, bro. I need to watch the special features. Tobey Maguire is Plankton. Oh, Jesus. Tobey Maguire emoted more in Babylon than he did in any of his Spider-Man movies. I think that's funny to me. Yes, I have seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I have the 4K version too, so I have to go ahead and rewatch that. What time is it? Oh wow, it's 8:22, you guys. So we have to cut the show short. I know we normally go for 2.5 hours, you guys, but my sister and I, we're gonna be having anime night tonight. We're gonna be watching a lot of Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, this man's having a hot take right now, saying Everything Everywhere All at Once was a 6. Oh no, you better bump that up at least 2 notches, sir. Neo, don't air my super chat. What was your super chat? What was your super chat? I didn't see your super chat. Oh, here it is. Oh my God, I missed this. Oh my God, Rab, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Before we go, we have a £2 super chat coming in from Rab KO. My apologies, my brother. Love from the UK NGS. Did you pick up Digimon Next Order? So I did not pick up, if you're talking about the re-release on the Switch and on, I think, PC, I didn't pick it up because, where is it? I actually have it. I got it on launch for the PS4. So yeah, you know, I've been there to support the Digimon. I loved Cyber Sleuth, so I was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and support this next one because maybe we might get another Cyber Sleuth. And I played it for like a couple of hours and it just wasn't for me. Maybe my mind was too focused on wanting another Cyber Sleuth game that I just didn't play this, but obviously there was enough demand for it to get re-released on the newer consoles. So there's that. But yeah, like I've been supporting it with the PS4 copy. I don't know, maybe that's like a game that I would love to play and I just need to go back and replay it. Who knows? But yeah, sorry about that, Rap. My apologies, my brother. My apologies. But yeah, you guys, it is time for us to wrap up the stream for the evening. Definitely one of the shorter Ask Neo streams that we've done in a while. That's crazy. Can you guys even imagine a world where Ask Neo streams are only an hour? I don't know if that's a world that I want to live in. But before we go, ladies and gentlemen, we got to do something that has become a staple on the Ask Neo streams. And that, of course, as David has pointed out, drink that water. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be having ourselves a hydration check. Now, what is a hydration check? For those who don't know, a hydration check is my way of keeping y'all accountable, making sure that not only you drink water, but I drink water as well. Because when you drink water, you feel better. You hopefully look better. Hair, skin, nails, all that jazz. And again, water is very good, especially if you're talking as much as I do. It keeps yourself hydrated. But yeah, so grab your favorite H2O beverage of choice. H2O, not vodka, not any other type of clear alcoholic beverage. For some people, it could be toilet bowl cleaner. That could be what they like to ingest. I don't know. Either way, provided you guys come back to the stream and hit that like button, that's all that matters. I'm kidding. But yeah, you guys, on the count of 3, we're going to have ourselves a nice hydration check. So 1, 2, what is Don Otaku saying? I would have went in on you more if I wasn't playing Rocket League ranked. Oh, sure. Likely story, Don Otaku. You know what? Just do that video essay. Become a fucking YouTuber and do that video essay, my friend. Do it. But on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, Babylon is mid. Alrighty. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's that for another fantastic ass Neo stream. Thank you guys so much as always for all of your support. Thank you guys so much for watching the channel. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you so much to all the amazing channel members. Just continue being the amazing people you guys are. Just like you guys, you know what it is at this point, but I'm always gonna fucking remind you of that because I'm just so grateful and thankful to be able to spend this time with you guys every single week. It's like I said, one of the highlights that I look forward to. It will continue to be a highlight I look forward to until YouTube is shut down. But then we'll find another way to do this somewhere else, because that's what we always do. We always find a way. But yeah, I just spit out my drink. For what? What? I didn't say anything crazy. What you talking about, bro? I didn't say anything wild. You crazy. Gotta love this timeline. It's a good timeline. There's some crazy shit happening, but it's a very good timeline. So yeah, you guys, get a lot of gaming in, get a lot of personal development, clear your mind, clear your heart, cleanse your spirit, your soul, make some gains in the gym, eat a lot of great food, have a lot of great sex. And for me to for now, my name is NGS signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace out, y'all. Babylon is mid. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one. I gotta sign off my way. I got to. I've been roasting Don talking too much. We gotta make sure we sign it off the correct way.